Okay, now I'm gonna bet that you guys have never seen an iPhone like this. This is an iPhone 6 without a camera. There's no rear facing camera on here. The front camera has been disabled as well. And I know you guys probably have like a million questions, like how was I able to get my hands on this? Why does this thing even exist in the first place? We'll talk about it all in today's video. Now, I've been seeing a lot of these Reddit posts where someone posts a photo of one of their friends' iPhones. This one looks like an iPhone SE without a camera, and I can't lie, this thing looks pretty cool. Now, the question I'm sure all of you guys have is, how do you actually get your hands on something like this? Can I just walk into an Apple store and order off of their secret menu? The simple answer is no, you can't do that. Apple doesn't really have a secret menu, at least at the consumer level, but I'm sure if you're high enough, let's say like a government organization, it's probably possible. We'll talk about that more towards the end of this video. And that leaves you with no other option but to do it yourself. Literally. NonCam is a website that offers these replacement kits where you can remove the camera from your iPhone yourself. They are not sponsoring or paying any portion of this video, but I came across their website through a random Google search, and you can actually buy these kits or buy the iPhone itself for a price of around $1,500, which is absolutely insane. And honestly, the service is going to be for very specific individuals, like those who work in the oil and gas industry, military, or if you attend a school that doesn't allow cameras on iPhones. So it's definitely going to be very specific. Now, I didn't buy one of these iPhones. Instead, I got an iPhone 6 kit for $150. Definitely a little steep. The package arrived in about like 1 or 2 weeks. It came from Singapore, and honestly, the presentation was pretty nice. It included pretty much all the tools I needed to take apart the phone, but some of the screws in the iPhone when I started this process were just really hard to unscrew. So thankfully I had like a backup bag of tools to use. I also find it interesting that they included the iFixit guide here on taking apart the iPhone 6, but I can't lie, it's a really easy guide to follow. But yeah, started with removing the display, the battery, the logic board, pretty much taking out every little piece of this phone. There were so many tiny screws. I did end up losing one of them at the end, but it's all good. And then I sort of messed up. I accidentally tugged a little too hard on the charging port ribbon cable thingy. It was really stuck in there, so I ended up ordering a replacement off of eBay. It was like $2 or $3, so not too bad. I then put everything together, and yes, the camera module actually fit inside here, but of course it's being blocked because there's no camera cutout. Now, when putting this phone back together in the new housing, I tested it out and the phone was actually working perfectly fine with the ripped ribbon cable. So this was nice to see, but I did end up replacing the cable anyways, just because I had already ordered it. And yeah, it's nice to have new parts. And actually, during the reinstallation process, I accidentally ripped the front-facing camera ribbon a little bit. So yeah, unfortunately, the front camera does not work on this device anymore, but hey, it's a win-win because I guess the front camera isn't supposed to work anyways on one of these devices. But yeah, at the end, we powered it up and got a fully working iPhone 6 without a rear or front-facing camera. This is like my little Frankenstein iPhone. So yeah, fun little project. So all in all, this project came out to $180.93. Now, in my opinion, I don't think this is worth it for the iPhone 6. This device came out in 2014, more than 10 years ago. Apple also does not offer any support for it either. So my guess is NonCam, the company that sold this kit, probably just had old stock sitting around, and I guess for some individuals who really need an iPhone without a camera, this could be an option, although I don't really recommend it. I would probably get something like an SC at this point. And this leads me to the next point of this video. Why is this a thing? Why does it exist? In my opinion, the iPhone is one of the most secure smartphones, so from a privacy perspective, you're probably going to be just fine, whether you have a camera or not. But on the other hand, if you work for a company that handles really sensitive information, that if it were to ever get leaked, it could impact you, your organization, or even your country where you live, then it obviously makes sense. So I can see why having this is a really important safeguard. There's a lot of different use cases for someone who would actually need a device like this, and it might not be common to see every single day, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who actually do have cameraless iPhones. And yeah, comment down below if you're watching this video on one of those today. And one of the things that I was honestly curious about was, why doesn't this company offer newer phones like the iPhone 16, the 15? And to be honest, I think there's two parts to this. Number one, of course, having worked at a company before where I was actually issued a company smartphone, organizations literally do not care about having the latest device. It's all going to come down to software at the end of the day, and what's going to be the most affordable. The other thing is, having to create a custom housing for every new iPhone release would probably get really expensive, at least at the factory level, and that expensive price would then be passed back down to the consumer, and it would probably cost us a lot. Now, I actually noticed here on their website as well that their iPhone 8 and their iPhone SE housings look pretty much identical. If we put a picture of the iPhone 8 next to an iPhone SE, the SE's Apple logo is actually slightly raised on the back, but on their website, the logo is in the middle. So this tells me that they're actually using the same housing for the iPhone 8, iPhone SE 2nd gen, and iPhone SE 3rd generation, probably to save costs and stuff. And there's also no mention of whether these parts are genuine. I'm gonna guess that they're probably not. I put my real iPhone 6 next to this one, and the text looks similar, but honestly, it does look a little faded on the one without a camera. And lastly, the question you guys are probably waiting for: does Apple actually offer this service on some sort of secret menu? Now, I'm going to preface this by saying there is no evidence out there that Apple offers this, so please take what I say with a grain of salt. Now, going through Reddit, this person actually commented, it was very close to, I guess, like a military presence, and they actually saw a lot of these iPhones come in. So that's interesting to see. So it's a possibility that this could be a thing. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Apple actually did offer this on like some sort of like off menu. I'm sure if you're high enough up there, there's a possibility that you'll be issued a cameraless iPhone. Now, whether it's by Apple or by a third party is something we don't know. But this Reddit post here actually shows an iPhone SE without a camera. But do you guys notice anything? I'll give you guys a second to look at this photo. This iPhone SE right over here, the Apple logo is perfectly centered, which is something non-cam does not offer. So was this made by Apple? Was it made by non-cam? I guess we'll never know. But anyways, this was a really fun project. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this device. I'll probably keep it in my collection for a little bit, maybe make some more videos on it because it is running iOS 12. So that's gonna be pretty cool to see. But if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. It'll definitely help out a lot with pushing this video out to other people who might be interested. But anyways, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.